Hello, welcome to this video. Today I'm taking you along behind my creative process, at least part of it, because my mind, my brain is always processing information everywhere I go. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh wow, I love that pattern, that shape, that's something. So it's not like I go somewhere in particular to find inspiration, because anywhere can be a source of inspiration. But that being said, usually that's, especially lately, what I found the most nourishing for my creative energy is nature, is taking time in nature, observing it, and then it's nourishing for my soul, it's nourishing for my body, and it's also nourishing for my creativity. Anyway, I thought that for today I'd take a specific example and show you a bit behind the scene of how I get inspired by my surroundings. First, I'm taking you along on a little stroll in the countryside where I live, in the little island where I live right now. So this little island is called Djerba Island. It's in the south of Tunisia. It's in the Mediterranean Sea. And you probably can see already from behind me the kind of greenery, the kind of landscape is quite like it's a typical Mediterranean garden with a southern influence. It's because it's in North Africa, so the climate is quite dry already, like drier than the northern part of the Mediterranean. And there is a lot of sand, and we are very close to the Sahara Desert as well. So there is this influence, the Mediterranean and the Sahara meeting together. We are going to visit the most ancient olive oil mill in the island. Olive oil is a big deal here because olive trees are like kind of the king of this area. So it's a big deal here. Olive oil, olive trees, olives, olive oil. It's part of the landscape. It's like dominating the landscape, but it's also part of the alimentation. It's like the staple of alimentation here. It's really important. Plus, it's really great to make masks and body scrubs and stuff. So we're gonna visit the olive oil mill, and then we'll walk around the olive tree fields. And then back to my art studio, aka the garden, for an art making session. Are you ready? Let's go. The meal in itself was interesting, but really what's most interesting for me are all the details of textures, rhythms, colors, color combinations, shapes, shadows and lights. What shapes are the leaves? How does the green contrast on the blue sky? Tasting the olive oil, of course, and feeling everything with all my senses. Soaking in the sun. And of course the lovely animals we meet along the way. My eyes, my brain, actually my whole body is cruising for inspiring information. And it can be anywhere. Of course, this was a lovely day out, and it's like this nature is really beautiful. But it could be anywhere. Like this is a ruin, old ruin, but it has so much charm, so many interesting textures. When I'm out and about, it's like I have special antenna on the lookout for any interesting sign, and I can feel it with all my body. It's like my antennas. They're linked to all of my nerve endings. partly it's because I'm a highly sensitive person. I'm very attuned to my surroundings and to my senses, and my nervous system is very alert, let's say, very alert to its environment. For me, it's an incredible experience when it comes to art, to creating. In my daily life, it can be stressful and exhausting sometimes, because I can, have this like sensation overload. But when it comes to creativity, I think it's really helpful, because basically everything is a source of inspiration. I can see beauty everywhere, in little details, as well as in big, more obvious things. In a way, this is like subliming the simple, seeing the daily stuff with new eyes. And that's what I intend to express in my art, a new way of seeing the familiar. I'm less interested by the exact transposition of what I see, of nature, of my surroundings, but more about capturing its essence and at the same time some of its details. I think that's why I like watercolors so much, because for me this type of paint is like the flow and the essence of paint. It's very fluid. It's not super precise, at least in the way I use it. It's more about a feeling, a moment in time. So for me, it's like the details are not separated. They're not alone. They're not separated from the environment. Est-ce que tu valides? I'm aware feelings are subjective. So for me, I'd be happy if I can capture my feelings at the moment when I'm observing my environment, when I'm out and about, like when I'm experiencing life, but also when I am preparing myself for my art, when I'm setting up my space and preparing my tools. I'm hoping to be painting. I'm not sure Twinkle is gonna let me. Today I want to paint more of artworks from this series. I've already made 2 squares and I've already pre-cut. I didn't work like this before, but I decided to try to experiment, if I pre-cut my format, what would it look like? And I think I'm gonna keep the grainy side of the paper. I think it's interesting. It gives some texture. I like to paint and draw in small formats, and I love the square shape. I feel like it's as if I'm taking a snippet of the moment. I'm gonna take inspiration from the colors of this garden. Springtime, so I mean, it's the Mediterranean, the south of the Mediterranean. The climate is pretty dry. Often I mix different scenes together. I cannot always pinpoint the exact thing that I'm inspired by. It's like a mix. It's like different layers layering up together in my memory. It's a way to weave different elements to a same story. A bit like us humans who go through so many experiences. Like me, for example, I've traveled a lot and I lived in different cultures, different countries. And if you were to take a picture of me now, like if you were to capture my essence, so what's within me in a square, in a moment in time, in this moment in time, you would see the influence of these different cultures and countries within me. All the different things that I've seen, they are kind of layering up in my consciousness, but also in my unconscious. Actually, a lot of it is in my subconscious. I can't possibly be aware as I'm speaking of everything, but it's here. It has imprinted my unconscious. It's part of it. It has nourished my personality and my way of seeing life, seeing the world. So yes, that's how I see our environment. That's how I see my art. That's what I'm trying to express, really. I find that in a way everything is linked. It's all part of a larger symphony. The abstract and the precise, they're like dancing together. And also, I love how we all perceive the world in a different way. We all see things in a different way. Even colors, we see them slightly differently. And I think that's so beautiful. We are all so unique. In a way, we are also very similar, but so very unique. And it's amazing. It's a celebration of variety. There's so much variety in nature, but also with us humans. And for me personally, particularly, I just see all these patterns, all these textures. I see them dancing in my head. So yeah, basically when I walk around and I observe my environment and I notice what's going on, it's like literally I register everything, I record everything with my eyes, and then my brain somehow is recording everything and having it all dance together. I feel like I have a very musical way of seeing things, if that And my art practice also is a reminder of the contrast between how things improve and change and like progress is made in our lives when we do these little things every day. It's day after day, these little actions, the details, like the attention we put in the detail of our days, that overall creates big laps, big movement, big change, and creates the beauty of our life, the quality of our life. It's like, it's little things, little things, little things, little details, little details, little details, overall create a whole, a beautiful whole. Beautiful or not, and actually this is like a reminder that we have the choice. Every day we can create a new reality by choosing how we see these details and how much attention we want to give to them. So that's it for today's video. That's just a glimpse into the art process, the inspiration, because as I mentioned earlier, like at the beginning of this video, inspiration is kind of non-stop, and you probably relate if you're a creative person. And I hope it was inspiring, and I would love to know, for you, where do you find inspiration? What does nature represent to you? Are you more like, what in nature is the most inspiring? And how do you activate your creative energy? Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.